Goddamn.
Wow. Wow. Man.
Crazy.
uh well, what is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing here today? Welcome back to another edition of the news. This is episode 253. Or no, that's unscripted. This is 272. This is 272 of the news, man. And thank you guys so very much for joining us here today for this edition of the news, man. You know, I'm seeing a little bit of the Punk stuff. I haven't seen it. I've just heard about it. I'm very excited to see him rap. I'm very excited for it. However, CM Punk, man, CM Punk, CM Punk had some pretty funny comments about his whole little Saudi Arabia debacle from a couple years ago. Wow, what all I gotta say is what a way to get out of that one, or what a way to try to get out of that one.
He
Legitimately,
didn't talk about Saudi.
I was gonna say it legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. Wow. That's kind of hilarious.
Ugh.
That is kind of hilarious. WWE, they posted a video of Julia with the U.S. title telling American audiences to tune in tonight to see a new champion. What? Tune in tonight to see a new champion. Why? What?
Thanks, bro. Thanks. I was really
Yeah.
wondering who's gonna win that match.
Yeah. So for anybody that was looking forward to Julia versus Zelina Vega, I guess they just let you know, tune in tonight to see the new champion be crowned. Always odd when they do stuff like that, man. Always very odd when they do stuff like that. I remember in 2018 when Tommaso Ciampa won the NXT championship, they were doing like a month's worth of tapings like they normally would. So they were doing like a month's worth of tapings, and there was only one title match announced during like that, everybody knew about through the whole thing. And I remember we get a notification while the tapings were going on in the middle of the day. New NXT champion crowned at NXT tapings. And like we all know there was only one fucking NXT title match announced, and we're all like, okay, well, most of us figured it anyway, but okay. Yeah, that I'm assuming you're talking about all this Saudi controversy, which we will get into in a little bit. But good old wrestling journalist, man. Good old wrestling journalist. But yeah, I just wanted to read you guys this before we start. It legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I woke up crabby, and I wrote a mean tweet to The Miz.
Mean tweet.
And I apologize to The Miz. And what is your name, sir? Mohammed? All right, let me step right here. Shakes his hand. He says, I sincerely apologize to you, Mohammed, and all of Saudi Arabia. I'm not perfect by any means, as sometimes human beings, we screw up. The beautiful thing is everything is a lesson learned. And now here I am, and you've invited me into your country, and I'm grateful to be here. Thank you very much. Wow.
It's kind of rough, bro. It's kind of rough, He's a 40-year-old man, but everyone makes mistakes, dude. He's young, and you make mistakes when you're young.
Legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia, man. I love it. I love it.
That actually might be my favorite line. A mean tweet.
You told him to suck a dick, bro. What do you mean a mean tweet?
You told him to suck a quote blood money covered dick. How is that a mean tweet? That is just straight just aggression, bro. You hated that man
Yeah, I
then.
mean, at that point, bro, you just got to admit you were trying to body that man. I mean, there's no
Body him.
there there's no ifs, ands, or buts, bro. But yeah,
Ugh,
all is forgiven. He
nothing to
sent
do.
out a mean tweet, and we got to remember, guys, it legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia.
No, man, isn't that like he put Saudi Arabia, that exact quote, in the tweet itself? No, I don't remember it like that.
You know, it kind of reminds me, when I talk about Damian Priest, I just want you guys to know, legitimately, it has nothing to do with the character of Damian Priest. Nothing. Nothing at all.
Like,
Legitimately has
ugh,
nothing to do with it. But hey man, legitimately
you know,
nothing to do.
well, when we criticize Dynamite every week, it literally has nothing to do with, Tony Khan's booking.
No, not at all.
No,
Not at
not
all.
at all.
Look, man, I don't know what that was about. I don't know what that was
Oh,
about, but that was interesting. That was very interesting. I'm watching this video and literally that was the first thing out of his mouth. Legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I'm like, huh? Like what? All right.
what?
All right, if that's what we want to go with. But no, I mean, and look, I'm not even one of the people that are pressing CM Punk for going to Saudi Arabia. I really don't care. It's his decision. I mean, at the end of
It's
it,
just funny.
it is just that genuinely got a chuckle out of me. I thought that was like legitimately funny. There are actually people that are very upset about this. So I people, he's a hypocrite. He whatever, blah 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 blah. He's this that. Everybody likes to jump on the guy's neck. Again, I really don't care. I just thought that was fucking hilarious. Legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia.
What?
What?
Like,
That
I
doesn't
think,
make
I
sense,
think what
bro.
I think what he meant to say, like, it had nothing to do with the people, but,
Yeah.
like, you can't even really say that because you're there for the government, but if the tweet was about the government, not the it was a lose-lose situation. You knew what you were gonna look, you knew the look you were gonna get going there, and you should have just tucked your head and just nodded, man.
Hey, I, I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, he's got his reasons, but yeah. I mean, quite hilarious. Quite hilarious, nonetheless. However, again, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to episode 272, or yes,
Yeah.
272 of the news. Thank you guys so very much for being here today, for this edition of the news, and thank you guys as always for joining us, man. How is everybody doing here today on your Friday afternoon, man? This is your first time watching, you guys do not know how the show works. Every Monday, I knew it was going to take some getting used to. Every Tuesday at noon Central, or 12 p.m. Central, we are live with Unscripted. And every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news, man. Today, we got news and predictions. We're going to go through the predictions for Night of Champions here at the end. And with that being said, man, also, if you guys do want to catch us after the WWE and AEW pay-per-views, you guys can catch us live right after the show goes off the air with the post-show review. If you guys did, or if you guys were interested, tomorrow at about 4 p.m. Central, I'm assuming, the show Central Time starts at 12. Night of Champions starts at 12 Central. So I'm assuming we'll be on about 4 Central. So the stream is up on the channel already in preparation. So if there is a time change, I'll update you guys through that. But if you guys do want to catch us on there, we are live for the post shows, and we will be live tomorrow with the Night of Champions post show review. So if you guys did miss this past Tuesday's edition of Unscripted, the John Cena pipe bomb, you guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Tuesday at 12 Central with the news, or with Unscripted, rather. If you guys have not got a chance to pick up some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can get this beautiful piece of Notorious Heels merchandise on Bonfire as we speak, man. So, with that being said, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. Sir K, tell the masses what you're smiling about today.
It was a good day, man. It was a good day. Woke up to some CM Punk discourse. That's always fun. I love reading stupid tweets from just very angry people. But it was a good day, man. I went to the dentist. It was it's the dentist. It's fine. But I'm here now, and best part of my day is here, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for the weekend. Excited for the show tomorrow. Excited to see how everything goes, who wins what, all that. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. And I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing good, man. I am doing good. Not too bad, bro. Not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, nothing too much, to be honest, man. Nothing too much.
Good.
Yeah. Honestly, nothing really going on too much. Other than just getting ready for Night of Champions, man. Getting ready for Night of Champions. We obviously got the 4th of July coming up next Friday, actually, and then we got so we got that coming up, and then we got God, and then the week after that, we go into All In and Evolution, bro. So just kind of excited for those, man. Excited for those. But other than that, doing pretty good, bro. Doing pretty good. Yeah. Other than that, as Durante always asks, I'm doing good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, anybody here in the live chat? My guys, part of the Replay Mafia, JC, JB. Thank you guys as always for joining us. And yeah. How are you guys doing, man? Thank you as always. So we obviously got a lot of WWE news, but we do have, actually, for the first time in a minute, quite a couple, more than 3, more than 2 AEW stories. So
Look at that.
I'm dead. I was reading Bell's comments. Okay, so oh man. Okay, I've seen more I was looking at more quotes from CM Punk's bars.
They were something.
He might as well have just sung Euphoria to him, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how you I think you said it right before we went live, but I don't know how you respond to Cena's pipe bomb with that. That's kind of something to me, but
It in I mean, I'll give it a chance. I'll see how it comes off on TV. I'll see how it sounds, because as of right now, I've just been seeing quotes. I haven't really been seeing any. I haven't heard it, but I do, especially if this really is their last match. If they don't run this back at all, I'm very intrigued by the decision of having him respond to the John Cena pipe bomb with that. So we'll see. We'll see
how it goes.
But like I said, man, we're gonna start you guys off with some AEW news. As look, man, CM Punk, he ain't being picky anymore, right? He's going, he's going, he's going to Saudi now, because everything legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi, but he's going to Saudi now. But on the other side of the pond, man, AEW, they are being picky, right? Not to Saudi Arabia, but according to Fightful, AEW has reportedly been way more picky with signing former WWE talents. The reason for this is reportedly due to past situations of former WWE talent signing with AEW and not enjoying their time there before returning to WWE. Okay, so what I gathered from this is they're tired of people being tired of their lack of booking.
Just book people better.
So they're tired of people so they're tired of people being tired of their flaws is what I'm hearing, because a lot of the times now, sure, maybe there is some scenarios where, you know, people cause problems, or people just look out for themselves too much. You realize the people that are looking out for their characters, that is something that is taught in the business. So I don't really understand that, especially by a lot of older guys. Like, a lot of the
Yeah,
older
they
guys talk all the time and say, these guys, they don't protect their characters nowadays. Somebody tries to protect their character, somebody gives a little bit of pushback on maybe creative. That's the problem with wrestling today. That's a problem with a lot of wrestling promoters and a lot of company, or a lot of like the bigger companies. Whenever somebody gives a little bit of pushback, or whenever somebody just tries to protect their character a little bit, they're seen as, being hard to work with. But the moment you become a good soldier, you end up like Karrion Kross. You never get fucking used. You get hit in the back. You fucking have to wait and wait and wait and wait and watch thousands of fucking people pass you by. You can't. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't, bro. That's kind of just the way it is. But like, um, yeah, I mean, Logan says it in the chat. I'm sure Black and Rusev did not want to leave. If they were booked good, if Miro kept the Redeemer 2021 level of run throughout his whole AEW run, he would probably have stayed there. If Malachi Black, I can't even really say he had a good run. At least Miro had a good run. Malachi Black didn't get shit. He got a feud with Cody that was mid as hell. Kind of didn't even fucking make sense, because Cody Rhodes was fucking teasing retirement throughout the whole thing. I don't know what the fuck was going on in that feud. And then he just faded away into obscurity. So to me, what this sounds like is, like I said, they're tired of people being tired. They're tired of being called out, pretty much. They're tired of people calling them out on their flaws, and they're tired of, you know, just because you're not one of Tony's friends, you can't get pushed, or one of his favorites.
exactly. Exactly, man. It's something that like a lot of these major bookers do is, like you said, you give a little pushback, a little, even just a little feedback, and you're made out to be difficult to work with, ego, this, that, selfish. It's like, no, it gets to a point where, yeah, you do have to protect your character. Yeah, I lost so many times. No, I don't want to lose to this other random ass person. To an extent, you have to start refusing to lose and whatnot, man. I get if it's like, hey, I refuse to fucking lose to Hangman Page, it should be like, okay, what the hell? But half of these people, Black, Rusev, they were losing to the most random people on the roster, dog. It's like, do you blame them if they got a little quote unquote selfish, man? And it's just it's what companies always do. WWE does it, AEW does it. You give a little bit of pushback and they make either the wrestler or the fans out to be the bad guy in that situation, because the booker can never do no wrong, man. And I think if just you had better communication and just a better organization of your booking, you really wouldn't have that problem. You wouldn't have to be picky with who you grab, because like you just said, if you book them well, I'm sure at least one or two of them would still be there. If you book them well, Ricky Starks wanted to go to work. If you book them well, fucking all these Ethan Page wanted to go to work. Those are people that wanted to go to work for you, and you didn't use them They leave, and now you're trying to say everyone that's leaving is a bad guy. It's frustrating, man, and it's very, very just very childish from these bookers, man.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, again, Miro goes on this good run. He obviously loses. He puts over a guy that you really wanted to get behind, like Sammy Guevara. He goes away, and every time you push him to come back, you're pushing him to come back where he is eventually going to lose. And it's like, you can't blame the guy for not for wanting to protect his character, because if you don't, you end up like Brody King. You end up like Mark Briscoe. You know what I mean? Guys that are, those two guys specifically are great. The fans love them, and again, they're great talent, but they just they constantly book them to where they exist to lose, and they just exist on
Exactly.
the roster, and that's it. And eventually, man, when you lose and you lose and you lose and you lose, nobody's gonna fucking take
People
you
believe you.
serious, and you're just gonna lose. You're gonna lose all momentum behind anything, and then it's gonna get to a point where the audience barely cares about you, and they barely care to invest in you because they just know you're going to lose. You know what I mean? So you can't
Exactly.
blame them. You also mentioned two other names, Ricky Starks, and you mentioned Ethan Page. Those are another two great examples of people who, in the beginning, wanted to be there. They were amazing in AEW, man. They were amazing. And then they get hit with the booking, and it completely just fucking goes south from there. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, again, it sounds to me like they just are tired of people that I don't know, say anything's this, that they're tired of people that admit that things are wrong, or things that they don't want people to be admitting that, things aren't going their way. So,
Exactly, man. Exactly. Bookers can do no wrong. They're always right. They're always in control. And you're as long as you're enjoying the show, it's all part of the plan, man. But it's just so frustrating because it's just a constant. Especially more with AEW and their fans, the way they like perceive wrestlers. The
yeah.
second Tony Khan stops booking somebody good, that fan base just blames it on the fucking guy and hates that individual wrestler. It's and they're the like the workers' rights fan base, quote unquote. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, their fan base is something.
Oof, man, it's
They
rough.
are, yeah, they are something, man. I don't even. but- yeah,
I'll always say I'll take some dumb WWE fans over some fucking just ego-filled AEW fans any day. You
this
know
is true.
what? You know what? Roman Reigns, he is the best wrestler ever to exist ever. You know what? I'll give you that, man. Cody sucks. I'll give you that. Cody's evil for beating Roman. You know what? I'll give you that.
Yeah.
His fans kill me.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, man. Yeah. Good old AEW, man. Good old AEW. Seems to me that this is maybe this is a little bit of damage control for the Everything's Great committee, which is what
Exactly.
they like to be. They, like you said, they want to give a
Everything's great.
perception that nothing is wrong, everything's great, and it's all part of
Mm-hmm.
the plan, and everyone's happy, everything's great. So yeah, I mean, again, if you did right by people, if you listen to your fan base, because a lot of the guys that we named, their fan base actually really loved. But again, if you're not friends with Tony, if Tony's not a legit mark for you, then you odds are you ain't going anywhere. So yeah. um
Oh, Bell, that's so true, man. Especially with AEW fans, they always do that to themselves too. Someone's contract is coming up, you'll see the custom all elite graphics, and when they re-sign, they're just shitting on them for doing this and doing that. It's hilarious every time. KO, Becky, Seth, Sammy, all these people, they do it every time, and it's hilarious.
Um, I seen it a lot with I seen it a lot with Becky. I seen it a lot with Becky. I cannot tell you how many times I seen Rebecca Quinn as All Elite. Get ready, get ready. She's gonna be at Grand Slam, or she's gonna be at fucking World's End. She's popping up at Full Gear. She's gonna be at All in London. And then she resigns with WWE, and oh, Becky Hogan, she wanted to stay with WWE. Like, what the fuck, you
They're
guys?
doing it to Bailey
You,
right now
you,
too.
is there? Oh,
They think Bailey's about to leave. Literally, dude, they think Bailey's about to leave.
or
So it's literally happening again with Bailey.
or fucking what was the other one? What was the one earlier? Oh, it was Kevin Owens. Kevin O.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It was going around everywhere. It was the Kevin Owens versus Eddie Kingston street fight at Grand Slam Australia, and then when he got hurt, I legitimately seen people being like, "Oh, this is what he got. He chose to stay in WWE." Like, bro, y'all wanted him in a street fight with Eddie Kingston at Grand Slam Australia. What? How are you gonna talk about? How are you gonna talk about him getting hurt? Oh, he got hurt because he chose to stay in WWE. What the fuck, you guys, for fucking tossing around a graphic that was for a street fight? What do you mean? What do you could what?
They're hilarious, bro.
I remember they were doing it a couple years ago with Drew McIntyre too. Drew
Yeah, with
Galloway at
Drew.
All in London. All right.
They did it with Finn Balor. They did it with Seth, Becky. They're doing it with Bailey right now. With AJ right now. It's like, dude, just catch the hint. These people aren't leaving.
Hey, get over it, dude. Golly. Um, that is what we call the Triple H effect. So according to bodyslam.net, Bell says, "Oh, with the KO1, people were like, oh, he's best friends with the Bucks," and I'm like, his best friend is Sami Zayn. The fuck does that have to do with anything? That's like that's like they were what, oh, they say it now with Bailey. That's what I was gonna say. They say it now with Bailey. Her best friend is Sasha. Yeah, you know how, like, yeah, Sasha still left, and her best friend is still Bailey. So I mean, what are you trying to get at here? Like, trust me, if Bailey is gonna leave WWE, it's because that woman is probably genuinely defeated. Okay, she's not gonna leave
Exactly.
WWE. It's like,
With all my friends over there. Like, what?
like, okay, like, and fucking, all right, Mariah May, I think her best friend is Harley Cameron. She still left. She, like, what the fuck?
That's
Like,
what fans. They're hilarious.
yeah, it's very, very funny when they do that. Or they the same thing with AJ. He's friends with the Bucks. Yeah, motherfucker. He's also friends with fucking Finn Balor, fucking Kevin Owens, like with John Cena. Like, okay, like what?
Well, the business have friends. What's your fucking point? Damian Priest is still probably friends with Matt Riddle. Is he fucking going to MLW? No. Like,
Pro-
what?
Probably, according to some of these people. His best
Uh,
friends over there.
Good
Okay.
lord.
You guys also know that Kevin Owens' best friend is Adam Cole, and they work in separate companies. Adam Cole
Exactly.
still chose to leave WWE in 2021, knowing
And
his
his
best
best friend
friend
was
was
there.
Kevin Owens. Wow.
Yep.
Hilarious. Hilarious. Okay, so according to bodyslam.net, AEW reportedly has plans to introduce women's tag team championships.
Are they not watching WWE, bro?
The company reportedly created them a year ago and have been ready to use them since then.
Oh. That's the thing that kills me about every time there's the women's tag team title debate. People say, there's these two women, they're a great tag team. And yeah, that's true. But like, is there a roster to support a tag team title? No,
No.
that's what matters. It's the roster. Yeah, there's some great women's tag teams in all companies. Just because there's a few great things doesn't mean you have to make a whole title and division around one team that when their momentum is gone, so is that title's momentum. And it happen with the WWE Women's Tag Titles. It'll happen damn near instantly with the AEW ones. That's even if they get any momentum in the first place.
Yeah. That there have been a lot of AEW fans, posting all the different tag teams in AEW. They said Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, Ty J, Julia Hart and Sky Blue, Mercedes and Harley Cameron. I don't know where the
Oh
fuck
no.
they got that one from, but apparently they have like some sort of relationship on Collision or whatever. They're friends or something. I don't know. Fuck. Um, they have all these tag teams. The problem with AEW's women's tag team division is every tag team I just named, nobody cares about. Nobody cares about. And it's a problem in WWE. I mean, there's a problem in both companies when you talk about how many championships are available. I get the rosters are
Yeah.
huge, but again, sometimes it's just too much. Again, the
Yeah.
fact that there's 4 different championships, 5 if you count the tag, for the women's division, I think is a bit much. I personally, I think you can at least take away one of the mid card and a tag team. Again, it just gets to the point where fucking everybody has a belt. You know what I mean? And AEW has the same problem. They have what, like 3 different mid card titles for the men. Again, I get you have a big division, bro, but for me,
That big.
I am just of the essence of like less is more, and I think less
Yeah.
championships means they're more prestigious, in my opinion. But like, again, back to these women's tag teams. Again, you just get to a point, dude, where uh, none of these tag teams anybody cares about. So it's like you're gonna introduce championships and look across the pond. Look across the pond, bro. WWE has women's tag team championships. At one point, they had 2 sets of women's tag team championships. They obviously got rid of the NXT ones, and still there are some tag teams. Not a lot. I will say AEW will have more legit tag teams as to where WWE 9 times out of 10 they just say, "Oh shit, we need we need 2 singles people over here because we don't know who the fuck's gonna win the tag titles." So WWE again, what I was saying, look across the pond. WWE has absolutely no fucking idea what to do with their women's tag team championships half the time, to the point where they had to fucking call upon the Bella Twins for a match against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for Evolution. You had to call upon the
Yeah.
Bella Twins because, as a matter of fact, the only legitimate tag team they had in that women's tag team division, they fired them. It was
Yeah.
Casey Catantaro and Katana, or fucking the Damian Priest's girlfriend, Kaden Carter.
Yeah. That's her name. And there was another one too, wasn't it? I think two of them got, or maybe one of them got fired. Who was She's in the Secret Harvest now. Who was her original tag partner?
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
That's what it was.
The
Yep, you had
unholy
one there.
union.
Yeah, okay. Uh, but like you had one there, you fired him. Like I don't get. You had that one in NXT. It was Gigi Dolan and then the other two. That was a
Yeah.
trio,
Yeah.
and you fired all but one. And it's like, what
They
are you
just did the
doing?
thing with the Metaphor. They had Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. Fired Jakara
Good lord.
Jackson. So, I mean, I don't know, man. But again, WWE, the well is so dry. The well is so dry for women's tag team championships. If WWE cannot do it correctly, you cannot fucking sit here and tell me that AEW and their just way of booking is going to keep any of those tag teams interesting. Look at all of them now. Do you have do you have legit tag teams? I will say they definitely have more than WWE does. They have Julia Hart and Sky Blue, and then they have Ty J. These are teams that have been together for a period of time.
Wow.
They've done they've done a good job putting Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne on screen together. Why they're together, I have no idea, but they've been trying, I guess, to establish them as a tag team. So I guess you could put them in there. But how are we going to keep this interesting is what I'm asking. And I don't think AEW is going to be able to do it. And I think, it's like they take one step forward by getting rid of 2 mid-card championships and making it just one. So we're back to just having 2 mid-card titles instead of 3 of them. And then, and then we hear about this and they fucking take 10 steps backwards. I mean, I just don't get it sometimes, man. I really don't get it with AEW sometimes, bro. But, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think they need this at all. But is this going to happen? Yes. I will even sit here and tell you I was completely wrong about AEW introducing Trios Championships. I thought Trios Championships were going to be a great thing. I can't even tell you who the
Didn't
Trios
work out.
champions are. Just
Are
the way
the
they do things.
ops?
Yes, it is the ops. Yeah.
Like, there you go, man. I was when you were talking about the mid card, I was asking myself who was the TNT. Then I remembered Adam Cole. So it's a constant problem with AEW of damn near forgetting who's champ at a time, and it's gonna seriously be like that with the AEW Women's Tag Team title. So they're gonna introduce them. I know they're so stubborn. They're gonna do it, and I don't think it's gonna end up going well.
Well, as if you just maybe thought things couldn't get any more stupider. AEW has potential plans for custom father and son tag titles.
Father and son tag titles. What? At that point, at that point, dude, you could literally just make up anything and just create a tag title out of it. This is the sibling tag title. This is the whatever the
What?
mixed tag title. This is this and that and holy hell, man! Father and son tag team title, dude. What the fuck?
uh What? Okay, so oh man. What? All right. So whether All Elite Wrestling are planning to bring these titles to fruition is currently unknown, but preparations have been underway for some time with Bodyslam.net reporting that father and son tag titles were made around a year ago. The plan for the father and son tag titles would involve father and son teams, both real and legitimate, competing. I think they meant to put illegitimate. Competing for the belts, including Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens, Kerry Von Erich and one of his sons, and Ricky and Kerry Morton, A Jurassic Express reunion has even been discussed, although it is unknown what combination of the form. What combination? What combination?
The gimmick was he was a pet dinosaur, not his fucking father.
Oh, what the fuck?
What
Okay.
those?
Although it is unknown what combination of the faction would it would include, nor is it known how the storyline related. Original plans called for Christian Cage and Nick Wayne to challenge the Hurt Syndicate for the tag titles, with one of the talents turning on the other during the contest. Oh,
Oh, that is fucking hilarious, dude. The
what?
Jurassic Express one kills me, dog. Does Tony
Mm.
Khan not understand his own ex tag team? Father was
Bell fucking says in the comments, why would you have Billy Gunn team with Anthony Bowens when his fucking
his sons
legitimate
are
sons are in the fucking company, dude?
his
What?
legitimate son. And I get they do the whole fucking storyline of he doesn't like his sons and he like sees acclaimed as his sons, but
Oh
like
my god.
what?
Oh.
Why?
Yo,
What is
how
what is that?
so So you were gonna have Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus running around with father and son tag team championships. Like Sir K said, the gimmick was he was his fucking pet dinosaur, not his fucking dad. What?
Especially with like the way fucking Jack Perry looks nowadays. His big bearded ass. Yeah, that's my dad. It's just fucking it's just fucking
We
Luchas.
we know his dad is Luke Perry, bro. What are you talking about?
What? Oh man.
Oh
Dude, that
man.
is fucking
You mean
hilarious.
to tell me
That is
you were gonna have old ass Kerry Von Erich dust off the tights and team with one of his sons?
that poor old man. Good lord, dude. What is one of the best, worst ideas I've ever gotten to fucking listen to, man? The father and son titles.
Oh
Jurassic
man.
Express. That is goated. That is like I get if not you're making those a title, but if Christian and Nick Wayne were to win them, that's what Christian would just call them. We're the father and son tag team. These are father and son tag team championships. That makes sense in character for him to just say that.
Yeah.
But why would you make a
Or
title out of it?
even if you wanted to you know, just I guess boost Christian's character or whatever, if he wanted to just carry around this custom set of titles because whenever there's a title involved with Christian, he always likes to carry it. So I guess you could fit it into his character, like he just needs a title to carry around. Like, that's just, I guess makes him feel better about himself or whatever, you can slot into his character. But, but I mean, a set of championships that you actually defend is fucking hilarious. That is, again, like Sir K says, man, that is legitimately one of the best, worst fucking ideas I've ever fucking heard out of AEW, man. And there's been a lot of those, but this is quite hilarious if I do say so myself, man. But yeah, I
I
mean,
gotta get a Samoa Joe and Hook in there at that point.
you might as well, bro. Might as fucking well. But yeah, I mean, which again, even at that, if you wanted a custom set of championships for Christian to carry around and not defend, that's even a stupid idea in itself. Because again, why are we just carrying? Or I mean, essentially, you're just bringing back the FTW championship at that fucking point. You're just having a belt
Literally.
that's literally just a prop, but again, if Christian just wanted to carry the belt around as just, some novelty prize because he can't handle being, titleless, then I guess that would make a little bit of sense. But I mean, yeah, this is what the fuck is that,
Jurassic
dude?
Express. My
That is
favorite father and son tag team.
Jurassic fucking Express.
Hell,
Come on,
you
dude.
you were reading about that, I was thinking, yeah, those it would suck, but, those all those tag teams, in a way, storyline makes sense, and then that one just hit, and I'm like, "Wait, what?" He's just fucking
Jurassic Express.
ugh, that is hilarious.
Oh, man. Good old Tony, bro. Speaking of Christian and Cope. The Cope and Cage reunion. Why hasn't it happened yet? Well, according to Fightful, Christian Cage was reportedly the one that pushed for his on-screen reunion with Cope to be put on hold. He reportedly asked for this because he wants to complete his storyline with Nick Wayne.
Look at that.
That is that is quite commendable. That is quite commendable
That
by
is.
Christian, because it is within every realm for AEW to just,
Put
drop
it to
or
the side.
drop them, or have Christian just one day say, "I've had enough," and just walk away, and then the storyline's just completely over, never to be seen or heard from again. Because Tony's got it set in his mind. He wants to do something with Cope, and Christian. So I'm glad they pushed for this to be pushed back. My prediction is, I'm sure, whatever they will be doing, they'll be doing in Toronto at All Out. However, I am very glad they push for this, because this means Cope's absence has been extended. And I have to be honest, man, look, he's a legend of the game. He is. He's one of he's an all-time heel. I have not missed that man one fucking bit, man. I'm just not really a big fan of this AEW run, to be 100% honest, man.
No, same. It was cool when he like first debuted, and then I don't know. He just you he has funny creative ideas, and in AEW, a guy like him gets like creative control of his character, and to me, it just doesn't bode well. He's a very cringy old man, and he tries a little too hard, and yeah, and he's kind of selfish, so that bleeds through a lot of his feuds with younger guys. So I am excited that it is going to be with Christian when he comes back, because it's not just going to be him burying some younger guy. But I'm happy that Christian wanted to pull it back to extend his story with Nick Wayne and actually finish that, wrap it up, and then go with Cope. I like that. Christian has, throughout his AEW run, he's been one of those guys that actually are there for the company and the roster and the younger guys. So it's glad to see it, even more of it.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, Jericho's another one. I heard that.
He could be back soon.
Yeah, I heard.
Ozzy's tour ended.
Yeah, I heard the tour ended, but he hasn't heard anything back from Creative. So I hope Creative keeps taking a little longer. Because yeah, I'm not ready for that either. So yeah, stay away, please. Speaking of somebody that I do not want to stay away, speaking of somebody that I actually miss, Keith Lee. According to the man himself, Mr. Keith Lee, he says he is quite fine amid his AEW absence, and he claims that is not up to me when it comes to a return. Just get rid of him.
Tony, Tony,
Just,
just let the man free. You're not going to use him properly if
just
you use him.
man, just fucking get rid of him, man. I mean, this man had an all-time classic at All Out 2022. And it was downhill from there. So he's shown you he can do good work. Some of it injuries, yeah, and it is the other fucking half just as much AEW, yes. They don't know what to do with him. They don't care to do anything with him. They do not care. They do not fucking care about Keith Lee, man. It's over, bro. Just let him go. Just fucking let the man go, please.
Exactly, man. Keith Lee is fucking phenomenal, but AEW, Tony Khan, they're not he's not their guy, and just let him go. Let him go and be better. And if you have plans for him, good. Call him up, use him, but I don't think they will, and I
Yeah,
don't think those plans are gonna be what they should be for a talent like Keith Lee, man. So let that man go and let that man do what he wants to do, man, because I miss that man on any kind of television I'm watching.
yeah. No, for sure. For sure. So, according to Wrestle Votes, AEW has reportedly has plans to run the Hammerstein Ballroom again this year. They say, I've learned through sources that that AEW is going to return to the Manhattan Center Hammerstein Ballroom this December, like they did last year, to rave reviews. So New York City around the holidays, AEW will be back in the Hammerstein Ballroom for a few episodes of their TV. Um, I think this is great. I think this is great, man. How you feeling about this?
I mean, I think it's great. I think AEW has been making a lot of like good decisions with those smaller venues. They felt a lot more alive recently.
Yes.
Tony Khan's usual booking of the TV doesn't help, but the crowds have been like more dense in these smaller locations, and Hammerstein is probably, the most iconic smaller location. And it just fits the vibe of AEW really well. I wish that they could pack it, as much as, ECW used to, but there's rules and regulations with a company like AEW. So that element does every time I see like modern shows in the Hammerstein, I'm like, damn, I just wish they could just pack as many fucking people as humanly possible in there again.
Yeah.
But even then, it still looks really dope, and it does fit the AEW like style and look. And I like the overall venues they've been going to. You can make fun of it all you want, how they have to go to smaller venues, but the fact that I'm glad that they did make the decision to go into these smaller venues. It makes the show look a lot better.
It does, and it's helped. Yeah, like you said, it's helped the overall look of the show, the overall feel of the show. Again, they couldn't fill a crowd for shit, so 9 times out of 10, it just sounded really quiet. They would have to try to masterfully film John Moxley's entrance so you don't see all the fucking tarps. And again, it was quiet, it was lifeless, so yeah, I mean, to anybody who makes fun of them for going to smaller venues, I would maybe say you just don't get it. Because
So,
the fact that they did that has helped their overall quality and it has helped their overall feel of the show. I've very much enjoyed the smaller venues. If it's louder, it feels more alive. It feels like the people that are there actually want to be there, and that they're all in a smaller venue to where you can actually hear these fans making a reaction to things, and it just overall improves the feel of the show. So Hammerstein was one of their good venues that they've done. They obviously did that for Christmas last year. And it was great. It was great, man. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a a lot of good sets of tapings, man. So yeah, it was great, and I'm glad that they're returning. So maybe this will be Tony Khan's new tradition. Is
maybe
is
it will be.
uh
He loves those.
Yeah, he loves his tradition. So maybe going to Hammerstein for Christmas is going to be something that he wants to do from now on, which, you know, is nobody really watches those episodes, so I wish he would, maybe do a couple. I wish maybe he would
Summer.
do a couple, yeah, in the summer or something, but overall, man, it is a good venue to be in, so I'm glad that they're keeping that going. So, yeah. And with that, before we move on to Some WWE news and some Saudi Arabia controversy with WWE throughout the week. We got an official word from W Energy, the official sponsor of NHP. So, if you guys are tired, maybe you're like CM Punk, you're about to give this speech to the people of Riyadh, you don't know what to say. You need to wake up a little bit so you can, tell the people that, hey, it's legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. You need yourself some W Energy, man. W is a clean energy formula loaded with vitamins and nootropics, formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. Like I said, they are a clean formula, sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Truly, always got to shout out W, man. Whether workout, whatever you may need the energy for. It's going to be an early show tomorrow. Very early if you're on the West Coast. Still pretty overall early if you're over in Central Time. So if you need to wake up, you don't want the jitters. Maybe you don't want to wake up like CM Punk. You wake up grumpy and you send out a mean tweet. If you don't want to do that, if you want to have energy, try W. It'll taste good all at the same time and won't give you the jitters.
There you go, man. So, again, like Sir K said, man, you don't want to wake up grumpy. You don't want to be sending out them mean tweets. Then hit up W. So, again, as always, thank you to the great people over at W, the official sponsor of what we do here at Notorious Heels. So, speaking of Saudi Arabia,
Mean tweets.
according to Brian Alvarez, many WWE production employees who flew in early for this Saturday's Night of Champions event are now stuck in Saudi Arabia at the airport. Well, this was a couple days ago, so I'm assuming that they got out of the airport and they were able to do production for WWE. There was also another piece of news saying that, according to Uncle Dave on the Wrestling Observer, WWE were reportedly banned from any mention of the Iran and Israel crisis on Raw.
What they talk about?
Did you fucking think somebody was gonna fucking cut a promo on it? I mean, what?
Michael Cole will have an update, you guys, later tonight about the crisis going on. Like, why on earth would anybody, commentators, wrestlers, why would they talk about that on the show? What?
I see this. I said, "Oh, this is Dave Meltzer
Come on,
gold."
Dave.
I said, "We gotta
Come
talk
on.
about this." All right, so here we go. They weren't allowed to reference the Iran and Israel crisis. They were just not allowed to mention anything. That's probably one of the reasons why they weren't allowed to address it. Because I don't think they wanted those questions being asked as far as everything.
What? What does that mean? I don't want the questions being asked. What questions?
Oh
What
my
are you
god.
talking about? Again, why would they ever talk about it in the first place?
As far as everything, it's potentially dangerous. Some people say, well, it's not really that dangerous in Saudi Arabia. The flying was dangerous today. There's a ceasefire, but that came later in the day. End quote. What the fuck?
When you say the promo, just yeah, we might not be going to Saudi. Like, what?
Like
Like,
what did you fucking want CM Punk to go out there and be like, John, this match may not happen because of the Iran and Israel crisis. So we might not even be going. Like what
what? Like, what do you? What?
Um, this is fantastic, Dave. This is fucking
Thanks, Dave.
fantastic. Um,
Thanks for the clarification, man. I thought they were going to talk about it, but thanks for the clarification.
yep. This explains it. When I watch Raw, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch tonight because somebody's probably gonna cut a promo on the Iran and Israel crisis. But I was let down. I didn't get that promo. Nobody cut the promo.
Same. I
Nobody
was
cut the
pissed.
promo. Yeah. So
Yeah,
seems
good
like
old Uncle
everything
Dave.
seems like everything is going okay. Seems like everything is going okay. Again, I just hope everybody's safe. Again, all the talent, all the production, everybody. I hope everybody gets in there safe and gets the hell out of there safe. So, I hope everything goes okay. Hope everything goes okay. So, that's all. They're there now, so all we can do is hope for the best, man. So yeah, I hope everything goes okay with that. So yeah.
Definitely. Hope everything goes well. Obviously, there was that SmackDown production fuck up that they had. I don't know if they sent the AEW production team over or the WWE, but everything seems to be going fine right now. So I hope it stays like that.
Yeah. So, look, I don't know, man. So, yeah, that is that. And, yeah, that is the reason we did not get anybody cutting a promo on the Iran and Israel crisis on Monday Night Raw. So, yeah, going into. I guess we can, I guess we could talk about some injuries, man. Guess we can talk about some
A whole lot
injuries.
of them.
So, WrestleVotes is reporting that Otis is currently out of action and reportedly not listed on WWE's internal roster. Sorry, I was thinking about fucking Dave, man.
Good old Dave.
He says, I believe he's out of action. I don't know if it's injury or personal. However, we speak about this roster that shows up. Otis is currently not on the roster, which means they are not available right now for whatever reason. Personal injury, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. However, they are not available for weekly TV at the moment.
Damn, that sucks, man. That sucks. I hope everything's going well for Otis. They said, obviously just read it, but we don't know if it's like an injury or a personal thing. Hope everything's all right, man. I
Yeah,
definitely, when I saw that, I realized like, oh man, he hasn't been on TV. So hope everything goes well, and I hope he can be back soon.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I know not too long ago, I think his mom passed, so I actually don't even remember him getting any time off around that time. So, maybe he did, or yeah, maybe whatever's going on with Otis. I hope he's okay. Hope he's doing all right, man. But yeah, happy to see him back. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. But yeah, hopefully everything is all right with the big man. So he was written off. I just figured he was written off TV because of Rusev attacking him. But then,
Hmm.
when this came out, I was like, that
Same.
has been pretty long since we seen him the
Mhm.
last time. So yeah, it definitely sucks, man. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully everything's all right with the man, and hopefully he can get back to TV whenever he's good, man. But hey, Bell. I know everybody else has been talking about it, man, but according to Dave, bro, he somebody was gonna cut a
We're not
promo.
allowed.
Somebody was gonna cut a fiery promo about it about this on Raw.
Someone was going to air off their whole grievances about this situation on Raw,
Yeah.
and they were told no. Apparently, man.
Yep. Yep.
Ugh.
So, more injury news. Um, Otis's old running buddy, Chad Gable. Damn.
This sucks, dude.
According to Body Slam, Chad Gable is reportedly injured, and the angle on Monday Night Raw was designed to write him off TV. It is currently unknown what injury he's dealing with. We'll come back to that in just a second. But it is worth noting that he has been working with a taped up elbow for several weeks. Corey Hayes also, never mind. He's the one from Body Slam who initially reported it. Anyways, so Fightful Select gave a update on the situation, stating that Chad Gable is scheduled to have shoulder surgery next week and had been working hurt for quite some time. This was from PW Insider. Then Fightful followed it up, saying the likely scenario is that Chad Gable is out of action. Is likely out of action until late 2025 at minimum.
No Gable, no KO, dude. Some of their best people, man, are out with injuries, man.
Yep.
God damn.
Yeah. You're not lying, bro. You're not lying, man. Chad Gable is man, it's definitely gonna suck. And Monday Night Raw is definitely going to be worse off for it now that Chad is going to be gone. I know I'm gonna miss the guy, man. I know everybody's saying, you know, at least we'll have El Grande Americano. He's still gonna be around, but the word going around the street is they actually both suffered the same injury at the same time. Kind of weird,
What
but
luck that is.
I know. Yeah, bit weird, bit strange there, but I don't know how much I believe that. Maybe that's a Dave Meltzer thing, but you know, the other side of the street is saying, you know, El Grande is still good to go. So hopefully we'll see him on Monday Night Raw soon. But I'll just say it'll be awfully weird if they have the same injury at the same time. It'll be a bit strange for sure. But damn, this sucks, man. Obviously, you guys know we come on here every week, fucking praising Chad Gable through the roof. He's one of the more time and time moves on. This man is genuinely moving up the list of some of the most underrated guys this company has ever had for me. And not that I mean at this point I can't even really say he's underrated. I would just maybe say underutilized. Everybody knows how great the man is, but it's gonna suck to see him go. And like I said, Monday Night Raw is definitely gonna be worse off for it in late 2025 at minimum. So at minimum, man, he's gonna be out for 6 months, 6 months, somewhere around there. I hope we can get him back as soon as possible, man. I'm definitely gonna miss the man. And hopefully when he comes back, WWE can start, you know, putting their foot on the putting their foot on the gas pedal with him, because I mean, again, I can't even say it's time because it's been time, but yeah, I mean, it is really just it's time. It's time to give this man his flowers. He's again, and especially too, not only did he get this, you know, luchador gimmick over, he got the luchador gimmick over. He's still doing great stuff. He's obviously one of the best in-ring guys you got. Done what the company asked, and again, done a pretty fucking good job at it. All of that while he was working hurt.
Insane, dude. That man is insane, and they have to reward him for everything he does.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do, man. So, yeah, with that being said, that is the news on Chad Gable. Wish him a speedy recovery, and hope we could see him back as soon as possible.
Most definitely.
More injuries. Dominic. I'm not gonna lie. I completely I didn't think this was real either. I legitimately thought that either AJ or Dominic did not want to travel to Saudi Arabia. So that's what I thought it was. But apparently that is not the case, because Dom is reportedly he is reportedly, this is by PW Insider, Dominic is reportedly dealing with a legitimate rib cage injury, which is why WWE has scrapped his match with AJ Styles for Night of Champions. He is not expected to be out of action for long. This definitely sucks, man. And it seems like Dominic's always very banged up. Seems like he's always
Yeah.
seems like this happens quite a bit. So that definitely sucks, man. But what were you gonna say?
Man, it really sucks. Right as they were finally, looking to start giving him more matches on his IC title run, he's hurt and he has to like take at least this pay-per-view off, man. So hope everything goes well. They're not stripping him of the title, and from what it seems and from what this says, it's not going to be that long that he can't work. So I'm sure he'll be back pretty soon. It just sucks, man. It sucks, and I hope he could get better fast.
Definitely, definitely, man. Yeah. So yeah, I hope Dominic can get back soon. Like Turkey said, they're not stripping him of the title or anything, so it's probably not too legitimate of an injury. Like I said, it's probably not necessarily an injury, more so him just being pretty banged up. Um, but yeah, like I said, it definitely sucks because I was actually pretty excited to see what he could do with a guy like AJ Styles. We all know AJ is something of a ring general. So I was actually pretty excited to see what him and AJ could do and what kind of match AJ could bring him to. So that definitely sucks. But speaking of Dominic, who seems to be Dominic's new slime, Roxanne Perez. According to PW Insider, Roxanne is expected to replace Liv Morgan as one half of the Women's Tag Team Championships. Or, my bad. One half of the Women's Tag Team Champions.
Kind of what everyone
I was
expected.
gonna.
Really, no shock there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
who was gonna replace her? Fucking like there was literally no one else. But it was the most obvious thing ever. I thought eventually this was gonna happen without the live injury. So I think the live injury just sped this up. And I think it's pretty obvious where it's going.
Yeah. Well, who knows, man? Maybe it was gonna be Luchasaurus. Jungle
Uh,
Boy's dad.
him and his son,
Jungle-
him and his son Jack Perry.
um.
Oh,
Yeah, there was again, like you said, bro, to me there was really only one way this was going to go. There was only one way this was going to go with Rox, taking the reins from Liv Morgan. That just made the most sense to me. And that just made the most sense in general in terms of where you wanted to take the story. Obviously the story is Roxanne doing exactly what Liv did to Rhea Ripley, so that just seemed like the trajectory of the story and the right way for that to go. So yeah.
most definitely.
So Roxanne and Raquel look to be what probably will be the women's tag team champions going into Evolution. Now, speaking of Evolution, according to WrestleVotes, the return of Trish Stratus to WWE is right around the corner, as Stratus is set to be a part of the upcoming Evolution pay-per-view on Sunday, July 13th.
Hmm. I wonder where she'll fit in. Now that, I guess she was gonna mix it with Liv, I guess, from that report, but I have no idea how this is gonna shape up to be.
I don't even really know
I don't know what she would have done in the first place. If Liv never got injured, just Raquel as a tag team partner, and Nikki, if she was getting a tag team partner that wasn't Brie, I would assume it was gonna be Rhea because beef with Liv and all that, and thought that would have made more sense. But like Trish, I don't really truly understand that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they do Trish and Rhea? Maybe they
Maybe
do, or maybe
Trisha.
Trish is Nikki's partner to go up against
Man,
Roxanne, and she's already faced Charlotte. I doubt they do something like that. Um,
yeah, I'm interested, man. Maybe I don't know, man. I really don't know because even with the live injury, after, Raw, I assume, Roxanne, or not Roxanne, Rhea has this beef with Raquel. Roxanne's helping her. Nikki still has a beef with, Next Circle, I guess. So I assume the new tag match was going to be Raquel and Roxanne versus Nikki and Rhea Ripley. And I really don't know where Trish would fit into this.
so yeah, me neither. Also, I did see Vicky was telling people that she was gonna do stuff with WWE in the next coming week. Is that the role? Dominic's manager?
That's horrible.
That's kind of
Um,
ass. I mean, the
yeah,
Guerrero thing, I mean that
yeah,
there's
but
that
like
correlation, but like, I don't really know how much I care to see that.
not as a manager. If anything, bring her on TV for that build, I guess. Make her say, that's her son or whatever. Family, Guerrero family, whatever, and call it that. I mean, Dominic doesn't really need a manager at all.
Yeah. Um, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Yeah. As for Trish, the unless they want to throw her maybe doing something with like Bianca
Yeah,
in like a one-on-one scenario, I don't even know, man. I'm very interested to see how this whole card is going to shape up. This is going to be very
very
interesting because I seen the one match we do have announced for the show so far is JC Jane and Jordan Grace. So that's interesting.
that's a match.
I don't know why you didn't maybe do like Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe, or even JC Jane versus Blake Monroe. I think would have been. I'm very interested to see what Blake is going to be doing on the show in general. So um, yeah,
Very
I don't know.
interested.
I don't know, but I don't. I again. I legitimately can't even really give you a good crack at a good guess as to what Trish Stratus could be doing because I don't really think the show needs her. But I get why they want to bring her back. She's a legend. She's paved the road. She's a trailblazer.
Trailblazer.
All the lines they say when she comes out. I mean, I get it, but I think the women's division is well off for you know legends to not
Who they have.
participate. So yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, I think Evolution might be a better look if it's, these modern women that people care more about, but that's just me.
yeah. So Alistair Black, funny enough, because me and you just complained about this on Tuesday. According to PW Insider, there are a lot of talk and praise surrounding Alistair Black within WWE creative circles. There has been a lot of discussion within creative to raise Black's profile on SmackDown going forward. The plan is to move Black upwards as WWE has been happy with Black's work and merchandise sales. Was this not always the plan?
Not an instant success when he returned was, merchandise and all that. Like, what? He's
Uh,
marketable as fuck. What do you mean?
again, yeah, like I am wondering, was this not always the plan to do something like this with the man? Because if that's the case, then I have fucking no idea how. I have absolutely
I
no idea how. But regardless, it seems like they're going to be giving the man a big push. Again, it, I would have thought this was always the plan. I would have thought this was always the plan. I don't know if maybe they brought him in and said, well, we do have a plan of wanting to use him, but we just want to see how everything goes first. But again, um, the man is marketable as fuck. The problem is not him. Again, the problem is the way they have been using him. Now, again, he's fairly, he's been back in the company for about 2 months now, so I don't expect everything to pop off instantly, but the way they have been using him, they definitely could be using him better, and they could be using him in more of a meaningful role on SmackDown as opposed to what they've been doing. And I'm. I mean, I am glad to hear this, but I also got to stay on edge, man, because of what they obviously just recently did with him this past week, you know what I mean? So I don't know if this was an eye opener for them of just having the guy fucking stand there while R-Truth interrupted his match. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that was just an eye opener for the guy, but or for creative rather, for the guy to actually kind of start taking it serious and using the guy a little bit more, but um, I'll believe it when I see it. Again, in this day and age, especially this year, we've heard about a lot of people getting really big pushes, so I'll believe it when I see it, and I really fucking hope so, because I would hate to see them make the same fucking mistake that AEW did.
Most definitely, man. I don't know how your instant overall plan from what we read isn't to put him up on that higher level. Um, and it's really just about the way they book him, man. He's an incredible talent, very marketable, and it's just keeping that consistency, man. I mentioned it on Tuesday. Again, he just returned, so you don't got to shoot him to the moon, but they're having a great job keeping him in general orbit. But it looks like they want to raise him, man. So I hope they do that, and I hope they make him look good and do higher profile things. And it's good, but it's also I'm not gonna put my chips on it. I mean, they said that about Finn, they said that about Drew,
Blair
they say that about a
Davenport.
lot of people. Blair Davenport, and then they fired her. So it's just one of those things where they're saying they're gonna push someone. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep. Yeah. So Roman Reigns. Uh, we have very contradicting reports today. So the first thing we hear is from WrestleVotes. Roman Reigns' return is on the horizon. Sources have indicated to WrestleVotes that his name has popped up internally in recent weeks, typically signaling the wheels are in motion for a return heading into SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So, my question here, before we get to the second part, is are we going to return him before SummerSlam, or are we going to pretty much just kind of what or are we going to I don't know, do exactly what we fucking did last year and have the man return at SummerSlam?
I would hope not at SummerSlam because, according to the second story, that's probably the last time we'll see him for a while.
Eh,
So I really don't know what's going on, man. Unless he's just about to pull a Rock fucking bad was that pay-per-view Bad Blood?
yeah.
He's about to just do that, show up for no reason, and we won't see him for months afterwards, which I wouldn't doubt at this point.
So preparations behind the return have begun, including new merchandising and marketing for Reigns' alternate tribal chief monikers are being considered for his return. What do you mean alternate tribal chief monikers? Are we just
Like,
adding another letter in front of TC? What did they do? Like
yeah,
the YTC, the OTC?
like what is there else to do? He was the original tribal chief. Okay, you could add that tagline. What are you
The
gonna do?
OGTC.
Like it's all reiterations of the same thing. He's just the tribal chief. It's that simple.
Yeah, so I don't know what that means, but this part of the story, the next part of the story, has me a bit concerned because via THR, the Hollywood Reporter, Roman Reigns, now we brought to you guys a couple weeks ago that Roman Reigns was being considered for the Street Fighter movie to play Akuma. And again, according to THR, Roman Reigns has been cast as Akuma in the live action Street Fighter film. So he got the role. And my question here is, okay, now that we know that, he's going to, they're gearing up for his return. Now we hear this, we obviously know he's going to be going away. I don't know how long filming is going to take for that. Maybe about, depending on how big his role is. I don't know how big of a role Akuma is going to have in the Street Fighter movie, but, according to role, 2 weeks to a month, 2 weeks to 2 months. I don't know. Something around that area, maybe. Are they going, it makes me think, man, are they going to do a thing where, Roman or Roman comes back, loses at SummerSlam and the only thing I could really think for him to do is a match against Seth. The last time we seen him, he, got attacked by the Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed group. The last time we seen him, he was attacked by them. So does he come back for a match with Seth, lose, and then go away again? That's honestly probably my best guess at this point. Something like that.
Yeah, I would think something like that. It makes me interested to see how Survivor Series might go.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be like the tail end of filming. I don't know if he'll be able to make it because I'm assuming he's at least supposed to be a big part of, the anti-Seth group that's going to be in there. But like, what do you do if he can't make it? This really just throws a lot into the wrench with his booking this year. I don't know what you do for him this year at this point.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. And even like, I'm kind of worried for his character when he does come back. Because I remember at Paul Heyman's, Hall of Fame speech, Roman himself said, the moment I'm not with the wise man is the moment you do not see the tribal chief anymore. So I'm very interested to see what exactly he is going to come back as or what that return looks like necessarily. So I don't
Very
know. But
interesting.
yeah, like you said, man, I mean, my best guess at this point is you bring him back before SummerSlam. He does SummerSlam and then goes and films the movie. Maybe
I would guess.
that's
Yeah, it
that.
seems like the most likely thing you could do.
So the return may be short lived, but I don't know. That probably is the most likely option at this point. So very interesting for what in the world they do with Roman Reigns at that. But yeah. So with the final, I don't believe there's anything new.
There is something new, but it pertains to the final story, and I just sent it to you.
Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. So we'll read the first part first. So where were we? Okay. According to PW Torch, some within WWE reportedly feel that Karrion Kross won't be a big star in the company Because he doesn't really take bumps.
He doesn't take bumps. Yeah, we don't really book the man in any matches that he's been asking to be in, but man, he just doesn't wrestle. He doesn't bump, man. I got these bench players, man, and they're always asking to be on the court, man, but they're never on the court. How do I put them in the court? They're never on the court. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, man?
He doesn't take bumps. All right. Well, let's get into this. So, he says I talked about this when he was all the rage in NXT and coming out of TNA. I was like, wrestlers are telling me when he gets to the main roster, nobody's going to put up with the fact that he doesn't take bumps. He's scared to bump. He doesn't take flat back bumps. I don't know if he's got an injury or a concern. I know wrestlers who I chat with about things. When I want wrestlers' insights are like, oh right, Wade, you're right when you say Karrion won't be a big star on the main roster, but one of the reasons you're missing out is just watch his next match. He doesn't really take bumps.
And literally, my Twitter feed has just been a compilation of him taking bumps
Yes.
ever since the story dropped. It's
Ye-
like, what?
Yes, I've seen the same shit. There have been video compilations of him because they put him on main event. So there's been videos of him on main event against, I think one of them was against maybe like Tyler Bate. I saw where the guy is clearly fucking taking bumps.
So, like, what are you talking about?
This is either wrestlers or WWE, whoever's feeding this to Wade Keller. This is them clearly covering up for their own flaws. And again, this is what happens in WWE. The narrative gets turned on you, and you are made to look like the fucking asshole, even though the guy is not scared to take bumps. We've all seen him take bumps. Again, there's been video compilations going around of the man taking bumps. I mean, is this what we're pulling out the hat at this point? Let's see.
Especially, that Wade mentioned, it came from other wrestlers. Are y'all that jealous that he's over? Like, you're just fucking telling this man that, yeah, that guy, he's getting over, but, he don't like take bumps, you know what I mean? Like, bro, what are you talking? Who are you? Who are these people saying this, man? I would love to know that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't understand, man. Ever since this came out, like I said, we can all look up and down our Twitter feeds, and there's literally videos of this guy taking bumps. And like I said, man, is this what we're really pulling out of the hat? That Karrion Kross won't be pushed because he's scared to take bumps. If this man is not being pushed, it has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with WWE being scared to pull the trigger on this guy for Lord fucking knows what reason. The guy has done tremendous work all year, especially, and his reactions have gotten nuts since that Raw recap promo that he did the night after WrestleMania, or the night after WrestleMania. This is what we're doing. We're saying he's concerned to take bumps now. No,
Just
WWE
hold on.
is scared to take risks.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They are scared to push the guy for God fucking knows what reason. Well, what do you mean he's scared to take bumps? You hardly put him on Raw. This guy's been trapped in backstage segments for the fucking better part of fucking 2 to 4 months now. He's been trapped in backstage segments. I think there was a statistic that he's had 2 matches on TV this year.
Yeah. Hey, his last pay-per-view singles match was in 2022.
Uh, scared to take bumps. That again, that's like saying the fucking eighth man on a basketball team is scared to shoot. He's the eighth
Yeah,
man. He
like
hardly sees the fucking court. Put him on the
like, you know
court.
he's not scared. He doesn't get to. Like, what?
What? Scared to take bumps. Okay. Um well, it seems as if Karrion Kross has something to say about this. He was doing an article with The National, and he says, I thought I thought out of all the crazy articles that are fabricated about me every week, that was the weakest. That was another wild one I saw last week that was or there was another one I saw last week that was even funnier. It said something like Karrion Kross is going to come to Monday Night Raw and he's going to quit and do a shoot promo live and then walk out. I thought that was a good one, but I don't really respond to any of them. There's a crazy one about me every week or two. You just kind of have to laugh. He says, "Oh, um, he says it says rumors picked up steam recently after Wade Keller of PW Torch speculated that Karrion Kross is supposedly unwilling to bump, and that was what was holding him back in WWE. But multiple producers who've worked with Kross since then debunked those claims, saying that there's never been an issue with the way he works. Not to mention, he's a bigger guy. That's not like his style. His he's more of the enforcer in a match. He's the heavy in a match. Like 9 times out of 10, if you know anything about any sort of fucking psychology, then those guys aren't really supposed to be bumping
What is
like a
that?
smaller guy would. He's not really supposed to be bumping like a Darby Allin. He's more of the one fighting from above, not fighting from under type of thing. So anyways,
Exactly.
so Kross says, I've wrestled once. I believe out of the 5 times I've been here, it was against Drew McIntyre inside a steel cage. The other times I've been here, I have been received so overwhelmingly warm and enthusiastic by the fans. I was surprised because I am not a hyper featured character in comparison to other characters on the show. You'd think they would go 10 times crazier for them as opposed to me. Just speaking with humility, I've always been received well by the fans here. He goes on to talk about his connection with the audience and state. Where was I? Yes, and state that he has never had an unwillingness to take a back bump.
Literally, it's very obvious, man. I really would love to know who told Wade about that.
Yeah, whose fucking hat did you pull that out of? That is what we're doing now. That's what we're doing now. So Karrion Kross is scared to take a back bump. The first thing I thought when I seen this was A, I thought this was gold. I thought that was fucking hilarious. And B, I thought I cannot wait till Saturday because I just know he is going to back bump for Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That
It was gonna debunk itself if he didn't.
uh, uh sometimes I don't know, man. Sometimes I just do not know. Scared to bump. Okay.
Wild.
Yeah, really want to know who told Wade Keller that, and I really should suggest thinking about what you put out before you put it out, because it is abundantly obvious that that is a fucking crock of bullshit. So,
Clay.
Yeah, Karrion Kross. Scared to fucking bump.
Crazy. What a fucking lie.
So, that is actually everything we have today. That is everything we have
Yeah.
today for all the news. Yeah, yeah, like Logan says, this guy would not be booked. He would have never been booked on the independent scene if he was scared to bump. He would have never even made it past wrestling school if he was scared to bump. I mean, what are we talking about here? Scared
Literally,
to
man.
bump.
Uh,
So, we got Night of Champions predictions here for you guys, man. So again, we will be live tomorrow. Like I said, if the show's about noon central, I'm hoping, maybe the show will go 3.5 hours. It should be on about 3:30 or 4, depending on how long. But right after the show gets off the air, we will be live for that. So, with that being said, we got some predictions here today for you guys, man. So, we got the first match here. Wow, look how intimidating, man. It makes me scared. Look how intimidating Raquel Rodriguez looks. Wow. What does that render? Night of Champions. We got Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight.
fight.
Raquel is, man, she's really intimidating, man. I gotta say.
She's tough, man.
Look at
She's
that
one of those tough
smirk.
in the streets people. It's like
Wow.
Damian Priest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Man, I will say out of all the matches on Night of Champions, man, this is probably the one I'm most looking forward to, man. This is going to be a good one.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
great. It's going to be real great. Raquel and Rhea in a street fight, man, sign me up. So, yeah, this one. First of all, I don't even know what the fuck this is on here. But second of all, maybe Raquel will pick up the victory because of help from Roxanne, and then this will, maybe turn into, you know, uh, this being one of the reason, Raquel's actually okay with Roxanne, stepping up to be her tag partner. They did get the upper hand on Monday though, so I also wouldn't be surprised if this was just a Rhea victory.
Wouldn't if I feel like it might be I was gonna say Roxanne. I feel like it might be Raquel with Roxanne's help, but I could see it going either way. But I think I'll say Raquel.
Yeah, yeah. Mm, yeah, I'll say Raquel too. I'll say Raquel too. All right. The next match, I don't know how this match is gonna go because one of the guys is scared to fucking bump, apparently. But Karrion Kross has finally found his way on a
Okay.
fucking pay-per-view. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's pretty awesome. I do have to say, man, I am very, very, very glad that they put this man on pay-per-view, man. Very glad. Excited, man. He's getting a match, and he's not only getting just any match, he's getting a match against Sami Zayn, and it is on pay-per-view, man. That is pretty awesome. Um Asking for Cross to win is probably too much. I think we should probably just shut up and be fans and just be glad, that
True.
he's on pay-per-view and we're getting what we're getting. But um I know it's asking for too much, but I'll go ahead and predict Karrion Kross, man. I think, with the way the story's going, it actually probably makes better sense for him to win this.
I think it does. I think it does. Like you said, I mean, might be asking for too much, man. As fans, we move the goalpost on the bookers all the time,
Yeah.
but I
Wow.
think Cross makes more sense overall. Obviously Sammy's going to be losing a lot until Royal Rumble, and I think one of those should probably be Cross, man. So if I'm not a betting man, I would actually bet Sami Zayn, but if I'm a hopeful man, I would bet Karrion Cross.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. So The next match we got for the United States Championship, Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. This one
Tough, dude.
is, yeah, this one is interesting. This one's very interesting because I could see this going either way. Maybe Jacob wins the first one, then Solo wins the second one. Um for the
I think
first
they might.
match,
Mhm.
yeah, for the first match, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and say Fatu here.
I think so. I think so. I think they might Becky and Lyra it. Jacob's gonna win the first match, then Solo wins it from him, and then they continue that feud from there. I feel like it might be Jacob first. That gets the first victory.
For sure. For sure. So, and then maybe Fatu wins it back sometime before the draft, so maybe they can like separate these guys so they can feud
Yeah.
with other people. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and say Jacob for the Queen of the Ring finals. Jade.
Although,
Mhm.
oh, go ahead.
Jade Cargill versus Asuka. What you got, bro?
Although, they have that segment that didn't air on American television for some reason, where, Asuka told Io she'll see her at SummerSlam. I think she will, but I don't think she'll do it through this victory. I think Jade is going to win this, and I think she's going to go on to face, for the SmackDown Women's title, or the title on SmackDown. And I think Asuka will still end up meeting Io at some point, maybe at Evolution, maybe at SummerSlam. But I don't think she'll do it through Queen of the Ring. I think it goes to Jade.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is whether they do Jade and Tiffany, whether they do, whether Bianca, maybe faces Tiffany at Evolution and gets the title back from Stratton. I feel we will probably be headed towards Jade versus Bianca for the women's championship. So, yeah, I I'm in agreement with you. I feel I don't think Asuka is gonna win this. Also, is Jade pinned? Yes, Jade has been pinned. I think she got. I think Naomi screwed her out of a match a couple months ago, or maybe like a couple weeks ago, or maybe like a month ago or something. So Jade has been pinned, but I know Asuka is just returning. I know Asuka is just returning, but yeah, I feel she's gonna face Io at some point, whether it's at Evolution or SummerSlam. I don't know, but I think Queen of the Ring. I think they're gonna want Jade to have that moniker for going into
Think so.
SummerSlam. So yeah, for me this is a Jade victory, and I think whenever Jade does win that championship, she's getting cashed in on for sure. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say Jade here. For the King of the Ring finals, we have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Um,
I
uh,
love Orton. And you never know, you could say, but it's gonna be Cody Rhodes.
yeah, this is a clean this is about as clean cut as you can get, man. For sure this is for sure a Cody Rhodes victory, man. I mean, there's absolutely no fucking way Orton goes on for another match with Cena at SummerSlam. Uh, that's just not happening. So we're gonna be getting another rematch with Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Will they right the wrong from WrestleMania, or will fucking Travis Scott come out and ruin it all again? Um, I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe they do some sort of triple threat or some sort of fatal four way or something with Cody, Randy, Punk, and Cena, or Punk, Cena, Cody. I don't know. I don't know what they do, or maybe they just do. You know, Cody and Cena again, and like I said, try to right the wrong from WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, this one's an easy Cody win for me.
100%.
And I don't know if it's the main event. I certainly hope so, because it is 14
think it
years in the making.
I think it is. I think they confirmed it earlier that this is the main event.
Okay. Good. John Cena defending the WWE Championship against CM Punk for the first time in 14 years. Damn. God damn.
Crazy. It better not be the fucking last, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So, uh so obviously, like, obviously I predict Cena. The interesting thing for me is predicting if there's going to be any Rollins involvement in this. That's the thing for me.
Thing. Exactly, it because like there's no way character logic wise that, if Punk is close to winning, Seth is gonna try to screw him over, how much he hates him. So I feel like he has to, but I don't see him getting involved in this at the same time. It's weird.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna fully fledged cash in, but I feel there will be some sort of involvement or some sort of attempt by Seth Rollins that's going to ultimately screw over CM Punk here. Which maybe that's what gets him another, chance at SummerSlam, or to be added to a triple threat with Cena and Cody, where maybe Rollins ends up being distracted for SummerSlam against Roman Reigns. But I think I don't think he's going to be cashing in. I think it will be some sort of attempt to cash in
Yeah.
though, and then it's just going to end up turning into them just screwing over
Shenanigans.
CM Punk. So that's what I think it is. But yeah,
Mhm.
I got Cena retaining here.
Same. Overall, same.
Yeah, but to be honest, bro, I wouldn't even fucking doubt if Seth Rollins fails that cash in.
It's
I
wasted.
really just
Yeah.
don't. I just don't see him. I don't see him as world champion this year, dude.
I don't. I really don't. Not even really next year. Again, you could do something with him and Punk, but at this point, it's a better result if you just have Punk beat Cena at some point.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Punk beats Cena, and then Rollins, cashes in there. Maybe.
Yeah, and maybe he like goes to get it back. That's the feud for them. But like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I I don't know. Maybe that's well into 2026. Maybe that's around WrestleMania season, something along those lines. But I don't know. I don't know. It should be interesting. But yeah, man. I mean, that is So yeah. Oh, I don't know if I said this or not, but yes, my final prediction is Cena for sure.
Same.
Yeah, and with that, thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this edition of NHP, this edition of the news, episode 272. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this edition of the news, man, and Night of Champions predictions. Again, we will be live tomorrow, right after Night of Champions goes off the air. Make sure to have your notifications on, because you should be getting our notifications shortly after that we are live. So we'll catch you guys there for the post-show review. Very excited for that. Excited to hang out with all you guys tomorrow, man. And with that, like I said, that is going to do it for this edition of the news. Thank you guys so very much, everybody who came out. Logan, Bell, anybody in the Replay Mafia. Thank you guys so very much for joining us, as always, and it's been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
Nice. Okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of NHP. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this edition of the news. Thank you guys so very much. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all tomorrow afternoon for the Night of Champions 2025 post-show review.
Peace.